All
Hi,
righty.
everybody. Welcome to today's workshop on how not to write a mystery with Stephanie Barbie Hammer. This is a part of the 11th annual Culturama, and I'm happy to help bring this workshop to you all as the coordinator of Culturama. My name is Lloyd Aquino, if you've never met me. Um, yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun, and I don't want to delay all the festivities and everything, so I'm just going to turn things over to Stephanie.
Thank you so much, Lloyd. It's so great to be back at Culturama. Hi, everybody here and here in the future. My name is Stephanie, and I am a novelist, poet, and writing teacher. This is something like my 10th year or 11th year teaching for Culturama. And this is just a little taste of what you have to expect coming up at the end of October, October 25th and 26th, in person, and online November 1st and November 2nd. Lloyd, I'm wondering if you could put the link to register in the chat, just in case not everybody, I imagine a lot of folks have it, but maybe not everyone does. So this is just a little taste, and I'm so thrilled this is a small group because this is totally a beta testing class. I've never taught this class before, so you're my first students. And I'm really excited to share with you what I've learned about stumbling into writing a mystery. But before I do that, I want to do something that I do at the beginning of all of my classes, and that is share a community agreement. So here it goes. As part of the Culturama creative community, we are hoping to learn from each other as we form together a beautiful and supportive writing circle that is mindful, generous, patient, curious, and kind, as well as anti-racist, LGBTQIA plus affirming, and inclusive. To that end, we want to be mindful of the amount of time and space each one of us takes up. For those who tend to talk a lot, please encourage others to speak while you listen. And for those who don't like to talk a lot, try experimenting, and I know this can be scary, with taking up a little bit more space. We're all going to make mistakes because no one of us knows everything. But between the one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight of us, we sure do know a lot. So there we go with that. And since we're a smallish group, what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to ask everybody to put in the chat, um, where you, what you like to be called. Everybody has a full name, but what do you like to be called? Where are you zooming from? And what are your preferred pronouns? And I'll go first. I'm Stephanie.
I don't know why, but I'm not seeing the chat at the bottom of my screen.
Oh, Linda, is that you talking? Oh, that's it.
Yeah,
You
sorry.
don't see the chat option?
Oh, okay. You know what? I minimized my screen a little bit and now I do see it.
No worries. You can
Okay,
also just
sorry.
talk if you prefer.
Oh, I'm already talking, so I might as well.
Yes, I think you should.
I'm Linda Smith Hogan. I go by Linda, and I've been writing for a number of years. I used to teach full time at Mount Sac, and now I teach part time. I published my first book 2 years ago, and I've never written anything mysterious other than maybe a blog post or two. So I'm curious to see what comes out of today.
Oh, good. I'm curious also. And I see some other folks have already posted in the chat. Thank you so much. It sometimes helps because the audio can be weird on Zoom, as you all know. So great. Cheska, I'm so glad you're here. It's wonderful to have you back in a class and just see your lovely face. And Svafka, zooming all the way in from Italy. Oh my goodness. Welcome. It's wonderful to meet you. Edna, it's great to see you from Auckland, and good. It's very early in the morning, so thank you for being here. Oh, and Linda says she's in Sacramento. So awesome. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to invite you to open up a Word document or whatever word processing app you use on your computer, laptop, or tablet, or take a piece of paper because we're going to do a bunch of just very casual writing. And so I'm going to start my little presentation. And here it is. Thank you, Canva, for helping me to learn how to use these icons. So this is how not question mark to write a mystery, aka how you might blunder into one in 9 steps. And here's the first step, which is step 0. And that is, we're not going to worry about plot today. We're not going to worry about that. We're just trying to get some inspiration and kind of get those creative juices flowing a little bit. So let's start. Those of you who've worked with me before know there's nothing like a list. When you hear the words mystery novel, what 10 words jump into your head? Just make a quick list. What words jump into your head when you hear mystery novel? And put one of them in the chat. Put one of them in the chat, and it is okay to say something that somebody else has already said. Patterson. Patterson is nice. What an interesting word that is, too. Rhyme. Trench coat. Great. Love it. Murder. Yeah. Cozy. That's also such an interesting word. Great. And if you see a word that somebody else put in the chat that you like, maybe write it down on your piece of paper or on your document, just so you can kind of have it handy. Cozy is always a fun word because I so don't think of mysteries as cozy, so it creates a kind of interesting cognitive dissonance for me. Motive is a great one. Thank you so much, Svavka. That's a great one. Motive. Awesome. Tension, I'm just seeing. Also great. Love these words. Love, love, love. Okay. So that's step 0. Relax. Think about those words. Okay, let's move on to actual step 1. And that is work with what you have. And that's something to, again, I'm going to just ask you to just take a few moments to think about it and maybe make a couple of notes to yourself. Work with what you've got. Do you have a story that you're already writing that seems kind of static? Maybe think for a couple minutes. Maybe you do. Do you have a character or two that you've been writing, but you can't find a plot for them? This happens to me all the time. I have these ideas for characters, and I'm like, oh yeah. In fact, I was just hearing somebody was telling me about, oh yes, a friend was telling me about his experiences being in all these evangelical choirs as a teenager because it's how he met girls. And I thought, what a great character. So do you have a character too that you've been writing, but you can't find a plot for them? Maybe just jot them down if you've got a few, or a thought about a character. Okay, and another thing to think about, which also happens to me, do you want to write about a place, but you don't have anything yet that can happen there? I recently, as Wayne knows, because he still lives there, I recently moved from Whidbey Island, Washington. And I really want to write about it, but I don't I don't have a plot for it yet, but I'd like to have something, I'd like to do something with Woodby Island, but what? And you may have a place like that. It could be a school, it could be a community group, it could be all kinds of things. It could be a park. So you just maybe think about that for a little bit. I'm just going to give you a couple of minutes. I'm going to stop talking and let Jennifer in. And hi, Jennifer, if you're just joining us, so glad you're here. We're just thinking about step one, and here it is. And I'm inviting people to just make a couple of notes. If they have a story that they're already writing that seems static, if maybe you have a caricature, oh dear, not caricature, although character that you're thinking about, but you can't find a plot for. And is there a place that you'd like to write about, but you don't have anything that can happen there yet? Just maybe jot a couple of things down. Or if there's something you haven't thought of that just occurs to you, jot that down. Okay, I see thoughtful faces. So I am going to move on to the next slide. Okay, let's make a list of some protagonists. So make a list of 10 possible protagonists, including characters you've already written about and or characters that interest you. And here's my pro tip on this. Choose someone who is not a professional mystery solver. Example, and you may know about this character already, an almost credentialed K through 12 teacher on vacation. Right? There's someone who is not a professional mystery solver. So let's, think about 10 possible protagonists. And I know 10's a lot, but just have at it. And maybe share one of your choices in the chat.
Stephanie, Francesca has a question in the chat, actually.
Oh, great. Let me go and look at the chat. Oh, great question, Cheska. Any type of story. Any type of story. Thank you for that question, Cheska. That's a good one. Yeah, if you write fantasy, if you write literary fiction, if you write nonfiction, um, what is there a possible protagonist that you've written about or that you would like to write about who you might be able to put into a mystery novel? Maybe. I like Linda, who's already gone off the wall and has suggested 100 Coyotes, which is like, okay, I'm already interested in that book, whatever it is, whatever the plot is, because something interesting is going to happen with 100 Coyotes. That could also, of course, be a human being's name, and that's interesting. Oh, Wayne suggests, this is fun. Wayne suggests a small town store owner. That's a great idea. Oh, I love that idea so much, Wayne. Or a key worker or someone who works at the store. Great, 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 great. Dog trainer, fabulous. Love the dog. A dog trainer, because you encounter a lot of weird people and stuff if you're a dog trainer. And Kitty, I love relative of a victim. I would love if they had a job or some kind of profile so we could have a little bit of a clear, more specific sense of who they are. I get where you're going with that, but I'm thinking about a person who has a life apart from being connected to the victim. Like they have a job working in a store, like they're a nurse, like they're a kindergarten teacher, um, etc. I'll give you a few more minutes. Okay, Cheska, I love the werewolf summer camp counselor. That's really great. The protagonist is a werewolf summer camp counselor, which is quite hard to say, but makes complete sense to me. And I'm interested in that character. Okay, so yeah, so she's gotta have this crummy job at the summer camp, right? You know, teaching the werewolf kids how to canoe and do art, but have them also do, um, stuff like, archery and campcraft, right? Where you make the noodle, the macaroni art and all of that. Great. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, I hope you can feel that there's really some energy around these choices. They're really exciting. Okay, so I'm going to actually, Lloyd, I just want to check in to see, has everybody got at least 5 items on their list? Jennifer says yes. What about everybody else? Wayne, have you got at least 5?
Uh, yeah, I think so.
Yes. Great. Swafka has 5. Linda has 5. Great. Just so you have some choices. Just so you have some choices. Awesome. Terrific. Thank you very much. Okay, let me minimize this. Okay, let's go on to the next slide. Okay, now make a list of 10 physical crimes that your protagonist might indirectly learn about. And once again, maybe put one in the chat. And Linda, I'm just seeing your add-on message about the environmental group releases the captive coyotes. Um, I think that's a fabulous idea. Again, what I would be interested in is who in the environmental group is the protagonist. There's maybe one person in that group who's who's your lead character. That would be my suggestion there. If you're not going to make one of the coyotes the hero, which I'm totally fine with, by the way. I kind of love the idea of a coyote on the trail, quote unquote, of some sort of mystery. That's kind of fascinating, actually. Okay, so crimes, anybody? Now, see, Wayne has gotten very excited about this. Okay, redirecting irrigation water away from a rival's fields. That's a great crime. Branding, as in cattle branding. That's a creepy, that's a creepy, very physical crime. Nice. Someone has vandalized an important, famous, prize-winning piece of art. Great one. Right. Family abuse. Okay. What other kinds of crimes can happen? Just give that a little bit more thought. And you just, again, you can just write, even if you think it's maybe a stupid idea, go ahead and write it down. Because sometimes the stupid idea is an idea you're going to go back to next week and go, oh, wait a minute. I like that. So write down the stupid ideas as well as the brilliant ones. And if you have only stupid ideas, that's awesome. That means they're all probably really good. I'll give you a couple more minutes. Ooh, Edna, that's a good one. Wow. That's like I feel like you've got the whole book right there. Edna's a ringer. She already has like written the entire novel and it's just here. I'm kidding. Um, that's a great one. Oh, Linda, that's a good one too. Oh my gosh, you guys. These are great ideas. Whew. Okay, you actually already are seeing this coming, so I'm gonna go to the next slide so you can just glide into that. Before I continue, does everybody have at least 5 crimes? Yes? Jennifer says yes. Cheska, you got 5? Yep. Wayne? Great. Slavka, great. Great. Wonderful. Okay, I'm going to, again, because you want to try to pull out as much as possible. Because that stuff that you come with it up with at the end as you're getting tired may be the thing that's the real gold nugget. Okay, so on to the next slide, and you already have felt this coming, so let's just glide into it. Make a list of 10 public or semi-public places where a crime could happen. Excuse me. Oh, summer camp cafeteria. That's awesome, Cheska. That's an awesome one. A lot can go wrong in a cafeteria, and a lot can go wrong at summer camp. And you got those two together, all hell can break loose, break loose. That's great. Good job. Okay, let's see some more places in the chat. Local bar is also great. Swimming pool is great. Oh gosh, and Lloyd's got a whole novel here in this comment. An Uber Lyft driver is hired by one of his passengers to find her missing sister who was supposed to be heading to the airport but never made her flight. Lloyd, I feel like I should just dismiss you and you should just go off and write that because there you go. You're done. Swimming pool is great. A lot can go wrong at a swimming pool. And the swimming pool has all those adjacent spaces also. And they're parts to the pool, the deep end, the shallow end. Lloyd says, I just remembered a character I wanted to write about but never did. Yay! Car service waiting area. That's a great one, Jennifer, because it's kind of a sort of strange interstice. It's not completely public. It's not completely private. It can be dark there. There can be stairs. There can be an elevator. A university research station. You guys, these are fabulous. I love these suggestions. They're great. University research station. Again, so much can go wrong there. These are fabulous. Like you all, I find thinking about place very inspiring. That's something that I like to do. I like to think about spaces. And often I feel that if I could figure out where something happens, I can figure out what happens. So if you're that kind of writer, then absolutely start with the space. If that's what works for you, go for it. Okay, great. I'm going to give everybody just a couple more minutes. Again, write down as many places as you can, just so you have your list to go back to. "24-hour diner" is great, Lloyd. I'm just seeing that. That's a great one. Can be friendly, can be sinister. You know, there can be locals and then there can be something, there can be a shootout. Something terrible can happen there. Yeah, that's a great choice also. Okay, I'm going to give everybody a couple more minutes. See a couple people still writing. An art fair. That's a great choice, Edna. I love that. Again, an art fair, you'd think, oh, it's so lovely. There are all these artists here and there are people buying jewelry and paintings. What a great place to have something really bad happen. There are also all those weird booths and, funny kinds of like hiding places at an art fair. Oh, I think that's a genius idea, Edna. Really good. Okie dokie. I am going to move on. I see faces looking up. I'm going to move on to the next slide. Oops. I seem to be stuck for some reason. Okay. We're going to make another list, and I am going to adjust this so you can see it better. This is now list 10 people who might help the protagonist and or who might actually have witnessed some of the crime, or who might have a clue or piece of evidence. And again, I wouldn't worry about, again, the details, but it's like who at the diner, for example, who might be there who could help? The dog trainer, back to that protagonist, who could maybe help them? The werewolf summer camp counselor. So 10 people who might help the protagonist. And again, I just sort of spitball and then again put one of them in the chat. Therapist, great idea. Frazzled lady at bus stop. And there's one at every bus stop. And I'm often that woman. So I both love it and relate. A frazzled lady at the bus stop. Great one. Love the word frazzled, by the way. That's a great word. Yes. Love interest. Yay. The hot werewolf camp counselor. Also hard to say, but awesome. Again, I'm totally down to read this book. I just found out that the Mets won, so I can now relax for the rest of the class. Yeah, so other possible helpers? Let's see a couple more. And again, it could be somebody very simple, like a cook at the cafeteria. Or a dog owner, if we're talking about the dog trainer. A cleaner, absolutely. Oh my goodness, that's great. Amusement park. Amusement park is great. That's a wonderful location. Again, a lot of different subspaces at amusement park. And an amusement park which feels exciting, but also it's already potentially a little bit scary. Things can go wrong there. Great, thank you. That's awesome. Yeah. At this point, you may be feeling a little with the lists. And I would encourage you to kind of lean into the boredom and just go, what the heck? I don't care, whatever. Wayne says, I'm really focused on this farm country mystery. Other farmers, and farmers can be pissy, as anybody knows who's worked on a farm or known farmers. We have a tendency to really romanticize farmers and also make them dumb. And farmers are super, super smart because you have to be really, really smart to be a farmer. So other farmers, coach, school teacher, local reservation, police chief, janitor. Janitor at the courthouse is good. And any may be female or male. Okay, you got some choices there. Thank you for sharing all that. Oh, Interesting, Cheska, on that. Yeah, it takes a lot of, Yeah, yes, I'm thinking of Frankenstein, all these people with pitchforks. But anyway, but that's interesting to think about them in terms of a group. Okay, great. I'm going to just give you a couple more minutes to see if you can think of a few more people, and then we're going to do something else. Oh, I'll just take a look and see how everybody's doing. Everybody looks okay. Uber driver, absolutely. Yeah. I'm surprised Uber drivers aren't in like every possible story now because they're such useful characters. Okay, great. Okay, everybody. It's now time to write something. You've been writing a lot already. What I want you to do is I want you to choose one of your protagonists, one of your places, one crime, and one helper. Now write 10 sentences where your protagonist meets the helper, discovers evidence of the crime, which can be just finding out that it happened, and decides to solve the mystery. And just give it a whirl. I'm going to give you about, oh gosh, let's say we're going to do a good 10 minutes. And if you need more, we can certainly accommodate you because we're a small group. Just a reminder, you can do this any way you want. You can do this first person, you can do this second person, you can do this third person, you can use the past tense, you can use the present tense, but let's just kind of get it out there. Protagonist, place, crime, helper. And I'm going to stop yakking and mute myself. Hey, everybody, you've got another minute. Okay, try to finish your thought. And maybe if there's a lot more that you want to say, which would be great, maybe just make some notes to yourself or type very quickly some keywords that'll help you remember where you're at. So you can go back to it and expand after class. So I am going to stop the share for a moment. I can see everybody. The one problem with screen sharing is everyone disappears, which is a little uncanny. But I kept on seeing Lloyd's face at the top, and it was like, okay, everyone's still there. Since we're a small group, Cheska had to leave because she's teaching. So she's actually going to send me her 10 sentences. But we've got time to hear everybody's 10 sentences, and I would just love to hear what everybody's written. If you feel comfortable sharing, if you don't feel comfortable reading, I'd still love to hear what the exercise was like for you. So I'm going to look to my left, and on my left is Lloyd. So I'm going to pick on Lloyd, who runs Culturama, so I can pick on him.
Part of the gig. So you want me to just read what I have?
If you're comfortable, love to hear
Yeah,
it.
sure. Okay. We drove to the diner down the street from the airport. I figured I could do that much for the girl, who seemed genuinely concerned about her older sister. I could check with Missy, the server, maybe Norma and Kenya if they were working tonight, see if any of the regulars were still around. Maybe order a chocolate sundae? It had been awful hot driving around all day, even with the AC going full blast. The place was pretty empty, but there was Missy to greet us. She side-eyed the girl's service dog for a second, then looked at me and the girl. You better not be on a date, Eddie, or I'm calling the cops. Very funny, Missy. She's one of my passengers and she's looking for her sister. The girl showed Missy a photo from her phone. Her name's Belinda, she said. Oh, yeah, I've seen her around, usually with some guy. You happen to catch his name? I asked. You mean names? I've never seen her with the same guy twice, so that's where I stopped.
Oh my gosh. Bravo. Oh my goodness. Um, Gosh, that was economical. You got an awful lot done. We've got a whole sense for that space and for the diner and the characters in it. And I'm already hearing the voice of that protagonist who's kind of got a little bit of a kind of a little world weary, kind but world weary, a little Raymond Chandler-esque. Um, Great. I hope you continue writing it. It's just a great start. I'm interested. I want to know what goes on at the diner, and very funny, Missy, what's going on there. So fun. Thank you so much, Lloyd. Gosh. Okay, next is Jennifer. And Jennifer, I was wondering if you'd feel comfortable reading what you wrote.
I think I was doing more of just like a sketch. I didn't actually get into
Great.
character.
That's
So
fine.
Geraldine, rushed as usual to procure dinner for the family after another stressful shift, decides to drive through the local Whataburger. It's not that late, but the street lights are on and the kids, exhausted from daycare, are bickering in the back seat And at the window, she hands her card to the employee when suddenly, out of nowhere, a person runs from inside the restaurant and falls over her car, splattering blood on her windshield before looking back, then running off. Two guys come out of the restaurant and follow that person. When she goes back, they're obviously chasing the kid. She screams. The kids go silent for a moment, then go back to their bickering. She looks back at the window to the employee with her card, and instead of her card, they're holding a package that somebody obviously handed her in that. I can't read my handwriting.
I have that problem all the time. It's like, what was that?
And that's it. Sorry,
Oh,
it's
that's
not much.
great. Yay. Oh my goodness. Talk about starting with a bang. That's fantastic. The blood on the car, and then they go, and then the other guys go, and then there's the package. There's a lot there already. And the kids, oh my goodness. It's like, okay. Great start, Jennifer. A lot of excitement, a lot of tension. I already like Geraldine, who's trying to kind of manage a lot of things at once. And is kind of the kind of beleaguered working mom, and you get that done very quickly. Geraldine's also a great name, a little bit old fashioned. It's lovely. Thank you so much. I hope you continue working on that. Okay, Linda, you are next on my screen. Would you feel comfortable sharing what you wrote?
Sure.
Oh, there you are. Yay.
I know, and I'll put my face up so I'm not just this disembodied photograph.
Oh, yay.
Okay. I was on my adventure of a lifetime to study 100 coyotes at a university research project. When I drove on site on a Super Bowl Sunday, only a security guard was present to show me to the rickety trailer out in the country where I would spend the next 2 weeks. At least it had a good heater, as outdoors it was snowing heavily and the wind chill factor read 30 below zero. The next morning, I was still in PJs, but at least glad I had combed my hair when a knock on the door presented me with the station director. I'd corresponded with John, but never met him. Imagine my consternation when he was the image of a young Elvis Presley. Hope you got settled in okay yesterday, he said. I have meetings this morning, but this afternoon I can show you around. And I must let you know about a crime that occurred here and the trial that just concluded last week. I think you'll find it especially interesting given your background in human sexuality. Now I could hardly wait for the afternoon to come.
Oh, goody. Wow. I love the station director who looks like Elvis Presley. That's just so great. That's just perfect. And I love the timestamp. We've got 2 weeks. We've got heavy weather. We've got a lot of it's like, okay, well, it's pretty deserted here, and it's really cold, but I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I have my pajamas on, and we're thinking, okay. And the station director, who is at once kind of sexy, but also a little bit, what's he doing here? He's a little too glamour. He's a little too good to be true for this project. So what's that all about? Wonderful. Oh gosh, wonderful setup, Linda.
Well, and by the way, Stephanie, this is a true story.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, you have to, then it becomes maybe a true crime thing, so you'll have to write it.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
thank
think
you so much, Linda. Awesome
you.
start.
Thank you.
Swavka, you are next in my view. Would you feel comfortable reading what you wrote?
So it's super late here, so I just took notes because my brain worked very well for the list, but not for writing something, some proper writing. But I took some notes and I'll just of what is happening. So there's a boy and a girl, and they cannot find their dog. The dog was hiding in one of their backpacks, so they are sure that someone stole him from them. They cannot say they brought him in because dogs are not allowed inside the amusement park, and they can only ask the other visitors, but they cannot ask the people who work there. straightforwardly, because otherwise they would find out. And the dog has a very precious color, and that's something that I don't know. Because I was always thinking of writing a middle grade kind of mystery. So thank you. I mean, it's not a scene, but it's I think I will work on these. Thanks.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much, Swavka. Thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for staying up so late to be with
My
us.
pleasure, my
Yes,
pleasure.
it's very
It,
late
it
where
was
you're at.
definitely worth it. Yes, thank
Oh,
you.
I'm so glad. I love the idea of the dog being lost. And of course, again, a crime can be something very simple. And that's something that I really would sort of encourage everybody to, you can, particularly if you're a beginning mystery writer, which I am too, by the way, keep it simple. And stealing a dog is stealing. And I love the added twist, Swavka, that you can't ask the people in charge. That's a great twist to the story that makes things harder and ups the stakes just automatically. They've got to now be sneaky because they can't just go to the manager who runs the park. I think that that's a great idea. And the valuable collar is a wonderful detail. I think that's great. Thank you so much. Looking forward to reading that. Edna, what about you? Would you feel comfortable sharing what you've written?
I would have felt comfortable if I had enough to read. No, it's not. I only have few sentences, and I took something to the library now, and then a librarian is actually noticing a very weird person taking objects from his bag and
Oh,
examining them. So that's
oh,
the idea, but it's
oh,
not.
that
I'm
sounds
gonna do
great.
it right
That sounds
now.
great. That sounds wonderful. And what a great idea, librarians.
Yeah.
Librarians particularly these days encounter everybody, every possible kind of person. The idea that a librarian lives in this sheltered little space, not anymore. So that's a wonderful, and someone who's taking things out at the library rather than taking things away from the library is a is a great innovation. And I actually was just talking to a new friend who's a librarian here in Santa Barbara, and librarians have stories to tell. So I hope you continue working with that character and that situation. That sounds great. So yay, thank you so much.
It's interesting because I love those workshops because you sometimes you go through the workshop and then you have some ideas, you forget about them months later. Oh yeah, oh yeah. So yeah, so thank you for the
Oh,
workshop.
you're very welcome. And I hope that this is one of those ideas that you either act on right away or that you forget about. And then a month later go, oh yeah, the librarian and the weird
Something
man,
like that.
the suspicious man. I want to write that. Wonderful, Edna. Thank you so much. That leaves Wayne. Wayne, do you feel comfortable sharing what you've written?
Yeah, I think so. Have I got myself unmuted again now?
You're unmuted. We can hear you
Good,
loud and
good,
clear.
good. Well, this is just a very, very little bit, but these two characters we hear from at the start, or hear about at the start. John and the unnamed narrator are partners in a small town hardware store. John's the money man, and the narrator is the hardware man. And John's also the three-term mayor of the town, primarily because he's credited with bringing the rains regularly. So he's been reelected despite the fact that when it starts raining, he feels compelled to take his clothes off and walk in the rain, which in a small town is not the best way to get reelected. In fact, he's lost a race one time, and gee, they had 4 dry years. So that's where these two are, and I'm gonna just go to where things start to happen. Uh, John and I were sitting on the boardwalk outside our hardware store, watching the town come back to life after another good rain, which had stopped a while ago. So John had had time to come back and get his clothes back on before he joined me on the boardwalk. When we noticed Jimmy Green roaring into town in his current old Ford. He should have gone straight to the jail down the street, but instead he came right here. I knew what that meant. Something nasty had happened, and Jimmy wanted me to get involved. I didn't like that any more than the police were going to like it. That's what
Wow.
I've got at this point.
Oh, that sounds great. I love that really terse, those really terse sentences. It sounds like we're in a small town. This is guys. This is guys talking about other guys. This is Montana. This is, this is a small town, so people wear multiple hats when they're wearing clothes. And that feels great. And it also feels like a place where it's like things are kind of under control, but things are ripe to go really, really wrong. Um, that's great. I love that start. And I hope you continue writing the book because it sounds really fun and really rewarding. And I think people have a tendency, again, people who aren't from small towns really don't have much of a sense for how complex a small town can be. So I think you're doing a real service to your readership as a writer, kind of thing. Let's talk about how complicated small towns are. There's really a lot going on in them. So thank you very much. That's awesome. I'm looking at our time, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you the slide. Just a second. Preview. Share. Okay, here's where we were. What I think I'm going to everybody seems to be in a pretty good writing zone, so let's go ahead and do this. Let's just take a moment, since so many of you you've all got a protagonist that's quite interesting, is to just pause for a second before you go launching into what's going to happen and think about the protagonist for a second and yourself. So my question for you is, what 3 current hobbies do you have that you love or that you wish you had the time and the energy to take up? And put one in the chat. Let's just think about some hobbies. I'll share one. I'm learning the ukulele right now. I really am. So what's a hobby? Again, try to make a list of 3 or more. Again, I'm always a big believer in being able to go back to these lists. Yay, Jennifer! That's so cool! Ukulele power! So let's hear about some other hobbies. Oh, roller skating is great, Jennifer. You're awashing great hobbies here. Roller skating's a great one. Okay, let's hear about some others. It can be a hobby that you'd like to take up if you had the time and the energy. Lloyd says, I'd like to relearn how to draw again. That's great. Oh, I love the history of that, Lloyd. That's great. That's wonderful. I did it as a kid, and then I left it behind because I was writing. So let's hear about a couple more. Oh, running a podcast YouTube channel. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a great one. That's a great one. Doing theater. Yeah. Oh, Jennifer, we've got lots in common. Yeah, I used to do a lot of theater also. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Wayne. Thank you so much. Great to see you. Okay, since we are getting, folks are needing to go, I'm going to continue. I want to make sure I get through everything. So I'm going to stop here with the with this idea, and I'm going to give you some homework for a moment. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to pick one of these hobbies that you either are engaged in now and love, or that you might be interested in, and I want you to give it to your protagonist. I want you to give that. So, Lloyd, that means you give the taking up drawing hobby to your protagonist. Jennifer, you've got a panoply of things. Edna and Svavka, what hobby can you give your protagonist? And the reason that I'm talking about this is because the grandfather of all detectives, namely Sherlock Holmes from the British series, plays the violin. It's a signature hobby that he has. And the homework that I'm going to give you, and all of you out here listening into recorded session land, I'd like you to write 10 sentences or more about your protagonist and their relationship to this hobby. What strengths does this hobby give the protagonist? And how does it make them vulnerable? And with this idea, I want to just do a little ad for my friend Bonnie Hearn Hill, who is a brilliant mystery writer who sometimes teaches mystery writing. And when I took a course with her, she argued that who your protagonist is key to making a mystery work. It's so interesting because I thought, oh, it's the plot, it's the this, it's that. She said, no, no, no. It's all about that protagonist because they are the investigator ultimately. So what is their passion? What is their hobby? And what are their strengths? And what are their vulnerabilities? And what I think I'd like to have you do is to just make a couple of notes to yourself about this. And I'm going to find her website and I'm going to put it in the chat so you can go and take a look check her out, because she's a fabulous writer and an incredibly kind person. So there's Bonnie Hearn Hill. The other person who I've learned a lot from is a friend who just came out with her first couple of mysteries. And I'm putting that link in the chat too. She is, oops, I just did Bonnie Hearn Hill again. And this other writer is Charlotte Morganti, who is Canadian and who is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful writer. And I am for some reason not able to get her address. I may have to send that to you after the meeting. Yeah, I will have to do that afterwards. So that's just kind of a pro tip to take away. So now we've got a little bit of time left. Let's talk about plot. For beginning mystery writers such as me and you all, that was the big scary thing. And here's the hack on that. Again, make a list. What are your 10 favorite mysteries? What are your 5 favorite mysteries? Novel, TV show, movie. Make a little list. Pick one and imitate the plot points. And that's what I did with my book, Journey to Merveilleuse City, which I think a couple of you have read. It's my most successful book ever. It was this complete blundering into writing a mystery. It was a finalist for the Forward Indie Prize. And I chose a movie called The Lady Vanishes, which is an early Alfred Hitchcock mystery. It takes place on a train. Someone disappears from the train, and the young woman and the young man in the movie and also in the book search the train for the character, for the missing person. And the trick is that the person isn't off the train. They're still on the train. They're hidden. That's the trick. And I basically follow that plot line. And that tends to make that idea of following a plot line often makes writers very nervous. It's like, oh, I need to be original. There are no original plots. There are maybe 4 main plots: comedy, tragedy, romance, in other words, adventure and satire. That's kind of it. And then within that, there's detective fiction. And within mystery fiction, I don't know, 7 subplots maybe. There may be fewer than that. So don't worry about that part. The point is to use those plot points in the service of your characters, who are your creation, and the crime and so on. So I would urge you to make that list of your favorite mysteries, pick one and really study it. And that means going through it scene by scene and saying, there's scene 1, this happened, scene 2, this happened, scene 3. And that's what I did with The Lady Vanishes. I just watched it sequence by sequence and organized my plot according to that. And then I needed to make some changes, but it'll be clear to you what those changes are when you get past your first draft. So that is my presentation, and I want to thank everybody so much for being very brave and sharing what you wrote and sharing what you're thinking. And I'm really excited about all of these projects. So what questions do you have?
Yes, Stephanie, what you just said about imitating a plot this way, I mean, I never heard a tip like that before. Is it only for mystery, or would you say that this is something that you can apply to yeah?
To anything. Edna, I think that's a very powerful question. And yes, it is arguably an approach that you can apply to everything. A wonderful teacher that I had when I was getting my MFA, he was a guest teacher, said, don't worry about the plot. The plot is just the hanger. And your ideas are the clothes. Your ideas are going to get, and the things that you love, your passions, your hobbies, the things that you care about, the characters that you love, that's going to go on top of the hanger. The hanger is just to get everything up there. And ever since then, I felt empowered. I started out as a poet. I think some of you know. After hearing that, I thought, okay, I can write fiction because I know how plots work. I've studied literature. I'm a professor, for Pete's sake. I've read great books. So yes, Edna, you can absolutely study works of fiction that inspire you and look at the plot points and how the plot points are working.
Yeah, it's a little bit mechanical, but I think it is a very good exercise,
Yes, it is a little
especially
bit mechanical.
for plot.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And it is a little bit mechanical. And again, as creative people, I think that can feel difficult for us. But so learn from the greats. If the mechanics feel kind of difficult, then learn from the people who are great at it. Learn from Homer, learn from Alfred Hitchcock. Learn from Bonnie Hearn Hill, who is a fantastic writer. Learn from Agatha Christie. When A Journey to Merveilleuse City came out, I received a wonderful compliment on my Kirkus review that said this was like an Agatha Christie novel. And I said, great, I'll take that compliment. Absolutely. If there are no other, of course, if there are no other questions, I'm going to remind you that I'm teaching another class online on, I believe it's November 1st. And this is, if you have fear of revising, I can help you. And that'll be at 1 p.m. Pacific time on Friday, November 1st. But please don't forget to check out the other classes given in person on October 25th and 26th and online November 1st and 2nd. I love the Culturama classes. I always take some because I'm a learner as well as a teacher. So I think that
One day I will come to Los Angeles or Riverhead.
Yes, you must. You must.
Yeah, I must. But I did pass through it several times since I made contact with you guys, but just pass through. Yeah, it will be great to see everyone in person.
Absolutely. That would be great.
Thank
Okay,
you so
Lloyd.
much. I'm just really grateful for. I have no idea now how I came to connect with you. It was during COVID, but I'm still
That's
I'm
wonderful.
still enjoying you.
Oh, I'm so glad. It's the blessing and the curse of COVID,
Yeah.
right? The COVID was so awful, but the blessing is that we connected with each other in ways that we wouldn't have otherwise. And that's kind of
Yeah.
miraculous.
Yeah, it's incredible. Just in this small workshop, how like all different parts of the world were represented today. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Stephanie.
Thank you.
so much.
Always,
This was
always a
wonderful.
pleasure to.
Same.
Yeah.
Great to
I
see
put in
you.
the chat a link to our webpage and all the information about all the online workshops that we'll be having on November 1st and 2nd. For the writing workshops, they're not listed right now, but the Zoom link for those writing workshops will be the exact same link as this workshop. So if you just keep this link, that will give you access to all the other writing workshops. The art workshops will be a different link because they'll be running simultaneously, and those will be up a little bit later. But yeah, that was fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody, for
Write those
attending.
books, everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.